Holy crap, guys, I've got some excellent news for you. So apparently, it's been discovered that Square Enix is currently working on a remake of Dragon Quest VII. If you guys enjoy Dragon Quest videos, top 10 videos, reviews, podcasts, JRPG info, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all. Now let's begin. Alright, so today there was a report by MP First stating Square Enix developing Dragon Quest VII Remake planned for release in 2026. So this is coming out fast. Obviously, they've put a lot of work into this already, which is awesome to hear. Following the success of Dragon Quest III HD2D Remake, Square Enix looks to release another entry in the franchise. MP First has learned that Square Enix is currently developing a remake of Dragon Quest VII Fragments of the Forgotten Past, the beloved 2000 classic originally released for the PlayStation 1. This information comes from internal documents we've seen that outline several upcoming projects tied to the publisher's top franchises, all scheduled for this fiscal year or early next year. The key word here is remake, and that's exactly how it's labeled internally. This distinction is crucial as Square Enix has previously referred to other updated Dragon Quest titles as HD remakes. The explicit use of the term remake strongly suggests a more ambitious reimagining of Dragon Quest VII rather than a simple graphical upgrade. While the full scale of the remake remains unknown at this point, the fact that the company itself refers to it as a remake and not a remaster speaks volumes. Square Enix typically reserves that terminology for projects involving significant changes, whether in visuals, gameplay, or structure, rather than for one-to-one ports with visual polish. Fans will recall that Dragon Quest VII was later re-released on the Nintendo 3DS with updated visuals and various improvements, and was generally well received. However, the version currently in development appears to go well beyond that effort. The target release window for this is Q4 of 2025 or early 2026. According to the document, the Dragon Quest VII Remake is one of the final titles slated for release in this internal roadmap. The current plan is for the game to launch in the last quarter of the current fiscal year or at the very beginning of the next, meaning the plan is to launch in early 2026 at the latest if things remain on track. This positions it as a potential major closing title for Square Enix's fiscal calendar or an early tentpole for the next. They also had a chance to view a brief teaser showing the game's logo against a cloudy background, a minimalist but evocative reveal likely intended for internal use or future marketing material. The latest Dragon Quest game launched by Square Enix was the Dragon Quest III HD2D Remake released last year. And then it says to stay tuned to MP First for more on this developing story as we learn more about Square Enix's remake plans and what fans can expect from this return to a JRPG classic. That is absolutely insane news to me, man. Dragon Quest VII is one of my favorite games of all time. Dragon Quest VII has the greatest stories and storytelling of the entire franchise. I know there's a lot of Dragon Quest games that focus on like individual storytelling in each of the different communities. To me, this is like world building at its best, and Dragon Quest VII does it better than any of the other series. If you like it in Dragon Quest III, if you liked it in Dragon Quest IX, if you liked it in Dragon Quest VIII, or whatever Dragon Quest game you've played, if you love those multiple stories in each of the different towns and villages and helping them out and kind of growing the world and the characters along with it and getting you more invested in the world and its characters as well, Dragon Quest VII has that in droves, and I would love to see a new remake of Dragon Quest VII come to like PS5. That would be just absolutely incredible. That would be a dream come true for me. The only thing that would top this for me is a remake of Dragon Quest IV in the graphical style of Dragon Quest XI. I would love if this Dragon Quest VII remake was like that as well. Give us Dragon Quest XI graphics, but give us Dragon Quest IV or Dragon Quest VII. That would literally be the greatest thing ever that Square Enix could do, as well as give us more on Dragon Quest XII, of course. But yeah, this is absolutely incredible news. I think stating that it'll come out at the end of this year is a little bit much. We would have heard something by now if it's an actual like full ground up remake, but who knows? Maybe we will be getting it this year. I highly doubt it. I would assume it wouldn't be showing up at least until next year. They probably won't be promoting it until after Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD2D Remake comes out, which is like the end of October, if I remember correctly. But yeah, what are your thoughts on a Dragon Quest VII remake? Like I said, one of the best freaking games in the franchise. The original game is still my favorite version of the game. The 3DS remake streamlined a lot of stuff, made it a lot more accessible. I could see them doing that even more with this one. I'm not opposed to that. Just don't cut out any story points. Don't change any of the story points. The story was absolutely phenomenal in this game, and I am excited to see more or hear more about this. If you want to see more or hear more about the Dragon Quest VII Remake or any Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, JRPG news, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all so you won't miss the next video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.